Okay, so today we're going to learn how to use PowerPoint in Grapevine, which is our school's name for Google Drive. So Grapevine and Google Drive are the same thing. When you first log in to your Grapevine account, you will see that you have files listed, and then over here in the right hand corner you will see that it says Drive. Okay, and that's how you know that you're in the right place. And so what you want to do is you want to click here where it says to create. And after you click where it says create, then a menu comes down and it gives you the option to choose a folder, a document, a presentation, a spreadsheet, a form, a drawing. You won't have that lucid chart diagram, that's because it's on my account. So you're choosing which one of these you want to make, and for your project that you're doing, I'm asking you to create a presentation. So I'm going to have you click on create a presentation right here. Next, it's going to bring up a window and it's going to ask you to choose a theme. You do not have to choose a theme. If you don't choose a theme, it's just going to go to a plain, simple white background, and that's perfectly acceptable. But for the purposes of explaining to you how to do it, we're going to choose a theme. And so here, you see that this one has a blue line around it, and that means that that's the one that I've chosen. So once I'm finished with that, then I click OK. And after I click OK, it will set up that presentation style for my presentation. And so you'll notice as we go along, the first slide is going to be laid out differently than the rest of the presentation, and that's how it's supposed to be. So when you get there, don't freak out if that happens to yours. So the first one is laid out like this, and it always has title here, and subtitle here, and that's how it's supposed to happen. Okay, you do not have to use both of them in a normal presentation, but I'm going to show you next what I would like you to do. So also over here, you'll notice that it says untitled presentation. Now, untitled presentation may not seem like it's a big deal, but if you have untitled for 7 classes and you look for a specific one, it's going to be harder to find. So I want you to click to set the title there and type in your poet's name or your name or Mrs. Jervis period 1 or something like that will help you make it easier for you to remember what it is that you're looking for. Next, once you have set your title, you can see here that I chose to set my title to How to Use PowerPoint in Google Drive. Then here's what I want you to put on the title slide of your PowerPoint. I want your poet's name, please, your name, the period, class you're in, and the date. You can either put the date you create the presentation or the date that you are presenting the presentation. It doesn't matter to me either way, but I would like you to put a date, please. And then we're going to start manipulating the things in your presentation to get it to where you need to go. So when you first start, you're just going to have on your second slide this black box up here at the top, this one, okay, and it's going to say click to add title. So I changed mine to poems title. And then this blue box here at the bottom, this one, that's called a text box. And the text box will stay there until you adjust it. Okay, it's where you can type information in, you can replace it with a picture, you could put a diagram in there, you could do all kinds of different things. So what we're going to do is we're going to move it around and out of our way and then put it back. And I'm going to explain to you how to do that. So next what we would do is you can see here that I have taken the text box and I have squashed it. Basically all I did was I just grabbed the edge of the blue line and I drug it across the screen so that it made my text box smaller. And you could see that it's just smaller on the page. And then I changed the title. Instead of click here to add title, I changed it to A Red Wheelbarrow, which is the name of the poem that I'm going to use as my example because it's very short. So that's the first step. The next step is to insert an image, because as you know, you're explaining your poem using images so that you can demonstrate that you understand the images that are present in the poem. And so what I've done here is I have clicked image on the grapevine. And so you can do that here, where it says insert, right here, or behind the insert image box, which is a little inconvenient for showing you, there's a little box that looks like this, and it has mountains like this. That's a very bad picture of it, but you can click there and it will also bring up this box. So once you're doing that, there are a few ways to do it. You can take a snapshot, but you're probably not going to walk around with a big desktop computer trying to take pictures of things, so that's probably out. You can upload your own image if you take it with your cell phone camera, or most likely what you're going to be using is this uploading by URL. So that's what we're going to show you how to do. URL is a locator on the web that allows you to tell somebody where you're getting your image from. And so it's like an address of the picture online. So here's an image that I'm going to use for my poem, and you can see here that it says, "So much depends on a red wheelbarrow," and that's the first line of the poem. So I want to take that image from this web page and I want to put it in my presentation. So when I right click on here, it says that I can copy the image URL. Okay? Now, if you're using a Mac computer, you can't right click. So if you're at home, you can right click and you will get this menu. But if you're using a Mac computer, there's a key that looks like this, okay? And there's a key that says CTRL. And CTRL plus the mouse will let you right click and it will bring you up the same menu so that you can choose copy image URL. And then once you've copied that image URL, you're going to click back over on your tab. See how I have all these tabs up here on mine? You're going to click back over to your grapevine tab. From this one is where the picture was to this one is where we are now. And you're going to paste with this button plus V to paste, or right click and paste if you're on a PC at home, okay? And so then once you do that, it's going to show here in this box. And this little green arrow right there is going to, or this little green check mark, sorry, it's not an arrow, is going to say that you have done the correct thing. It's going to show you that you have the right address. And even better for you to check your work, it's going to show you the picture right there, so you know that you've done your work right. You can check your work that way. The next step that I'm going to show you is, and this is a whole new slide on purpose, so what I've done is you can see here the slide that we just did. And I didn't do anything else to it except for what I showed you. And then I just inserted a new slide, and I repeated here the title again, and this CONT, that means continued. And so then the next line in the poem is glazed with rainwater. And so I wanted a picture of a red wheelbarrow glazed with rainwater, so that's why I chose this picture. But I put this picture here, and now you can't see any of the words that are on my slide. So I need to put the picture behind the words if I want the words on top of the picture. And so what I've done again is right-clicked again, or just like before, you can use the little flower button, that's what I'm going to call it, plus the mouse, and it will let you right-click. And then when you do that, it will bring up this menu, and you choose Order, like right here, and then second, so this is one, and then second, Send to back. And when you do that, it sends your picture behind the words that you want to use. And so it will order them on your slide, like when you stack papers in a certain order, like alphabetical order or number order, that's what it means by order. So that's very helpful. The next step is, now that I've put my text box on here, you can see that I have a little bit of a problem, because this text box right here has words in it, but you can't really see them very well because they're too dark. So I need to change the color of the text in the box so that it's more visible on the slide. So if I want to do that, I click up here at the top of the screen, and I choose this little box that has an A for a letter in it, and it's underlined with a specific color, Whatever color it's underlined with is the color that the text will be. So if I was choosing blue, it would be an A with blue underneath it. If I was choosing green, it would be an A with green underneath it. If I had it set to white, it would be an A with white underneath it, and that one would be kind of hard to see. Excuse me. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose white. That's why this one is outlined in black right here. And then once I do that, it's going to look like this. So, you can see now that this text here in the same box, just by changing it to white, my citation for that is much clearer. You can see it. It's not ostentatious. It's not taking up a great big portion of the slide, but you can see that I'm giving credit to the person who took the picture. And here, I wanted to show you a picture of the keyboard because there's a couple things that I wanted to show you how to do. This here is the button that I'm talking about, the flower button. It's not really a flower, but it sort of looks like a flower, and so it's easy to remember. Okay, so if you click this button, plus mouse is how you right-click. Okay, and then besides that, there is a very helpful tool for when you can't copy and paste using a URL, because sometimes that's not going to work. And so there's a combination that you can use, okay? We're going to number this one number 1, this one number 2, this one number 3, and this one, consequently, number 4. Key number 4 is number 4. So when you hold 1, 2, 3, and 4 all together, so 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 all together, they're going to screenshot. That means they're going to take a picture of what is currently on your screen so that you can use it as an image. And you can cut pieces off of it later in squares if you need to, but it will take a picture of what's ever on your screen. That's how I got a picture of this keyboard into this movie for you, is by taking a picture of it from my screen. So it's very helpful if you only want part of an image, or maybe there's too much going on in an image, or it won't let you copy and paste it because it's not working. As long as you do this and then you give a citation for wherever you're getting the image from, then it's still okay to use it. So what we have here, this chicken picture, is a picture that I had to do that with. Over here, off the corner of the picture, there was a picture of a barn, and over here there was a farm, and over here there was some machinery, and over here there was some other stuff, and I just wanted the white chickens because that was the line of the poem. So I just took a picture using my screenshot, and after you screenshot, it's called a screenshot, using my screenshot for putting in the picture into my PowerPoint. And then I was able to do it the same way as I did it before, where I was able to just put it into the insert image, and it worked just fine. And you see here, I still have my citation. So that's how you change font color in a PowerPoint, how you change the layout of your slide in a PowerPoint, how you choose a theme in your PowerPoint, how you put your text on top of your pictures the way it is in the sample. All of that is how you work these in Grapevine, which is also known as Google Drive. And so you could do that again. You could do that at home on your PC. You could do it in the lab at school on your Macs. It will work on the iPad, which is what I'm doing it with right now. So all of those ways will work to create your presentation so that in a couple weeks, when you get ready to present your poet to the class, you have all of that information at your fingertips and ready in the way that I asked you to do it. Thank you, and I hope you have fun doing it.